Today is another one of those split-screen days in American history, one of those days that you will tell your kids and your grandkids what you were doing when this unspooled. I mean, we've got this crucial primary unfolding in real time right before our very eyes, while simultaneously a rule of law crisis, what some people are calling a rule of law emergency, is unfolding in the incumbent administration. All four veteran prosecutors who had been handling the Roger Stone case today resigning one after the other in a story that has unspooled dramatically over the course of the day. The resignations coming, of course, after the Justice Department at the highest levels intervened to overturn the prosecutor's recommendation for a serious 7 to 9 year long prison term for the president's longtime friend, Roger Stone, following public tweets by the president in which that recommended sentence was criticized in harsh tones by the president last night. The Stone case is being handled out of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C. 1 week ago, Attorney General Bill Barr installed his close longtime aide as the U.S. attorney in that office, replacing the former U.S. attorney whose name was Jesse Liu. Amid uncertainty about Liu's role in this current scandal and a lot of uncertainty about her ouster at the Justice Department, tonight Axios was first to report that Liu's nomination to another Trump administration job has tonight suddenly been yanked. Now, in order to get confirmed in that job, Jesse Liu was scheduled for a confirmation hearing in the United States Senate the day after tomorrow. With all of this scandal coming out of the office that she appears to have just been ousted from, the prospect of her testifying in an open hearing in the Senate in 2 days may have been too much for the White House to not try to stop. It is hard to see how all of these dots, the president's friendship with Roger Stone, his criticism of the recommended sentence for Stone, the newly minted U.S. attorney hand-chosen by Attorney General Barr, now this radical move in the Stone case, the cascading resignations of career prosecutors apparently in protest of that move. It's hard to not see it as connected. The former chief of counterintelligence at the Justice Department, David Laufman, is one of the people who has been sounding the alarm in the loudest possible terms about this crisis today. David Laufman saying online today, quote, "We are now truly at a break glass in case of fire moment for the Justice Department."
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.